half. Kentucky Wesleyan, if you're keeping track at home, that's their second. Coming into the ballgame, substitution for IPFW, number 23, Amy Newhouser comes into the ballgame. Another entry pass from the inbound. They're rolling around on the floor, and they'll call the jump ball. The alternating possession arrow indicates Kentucky Wesleyan ball. They'll retain possession. Not one of your cleanest games that you've seen here at the Mastodon, has it been, Mike?
Well, no, like I mentioned before, though, both teams are a little bit down right now. Neither one are really particularly playing as well as they could be, and again, that comes down to experience.
Nice defense by Tina Merrill. Wilson still with the ball out to Calhoun, who just missed that three-point shot earlier. Nice defense by Newhouser. They'll call the jump ball on the tied up.
Well, one thing has developed so far here in this ball game, and the team that's going to shoot the best from the outside is going to have the best shot at running away with this game, because both teams are doing an excellent job, like I mentioned before, with closing up the lanes on the inside. So Tina Merrill, for instance, for IPFW, is going to have to show her leadership and can that outside jumper.
Newhouser will be called for the travel. Kentucky Wesleyan ball. Looked like a good possession for them so far, but just called for the violation. Coming into the ball game, Sarah Turner, number 42, coming in for Stacy Leatherwood.
That is unless Sarah Turner gets untracked, and when she gets untracked, she's practically unstoppable inside.
She's got a nice touch from the outside. Good rebounder, too. Number 22 shoots from the outside, Stacy Calhoun.
Now, Stacy can can it also. Now, she's an excellent shooter, and if she gets untracked, Kentucky Wesleyan's got a good shot at building up on this lead. They're 14-9 lead right now.
Tough full court pressure by the Panthers. Guest brings it up, feeds it off to Miller from the outside. Just off. IPFW still with their shooting woes. Brought up by Calhoun. Inside entry pass, fouled, but I believe Lisa Miller. IPFW is just not shooting well. At 13:35 here in the first half, IPFW 9, Kentucky Wesleyan 14. Still getting comfortable here. Outside. Tracy Wilson. Pass in the middle, nicely blocked, but she follows up her own shot. Nice move by Amy Green.
And Amy's got 4 points out of the 16. And they just built up a 7-point lead now.
Guess with the ball. Out to Newhouser. Into Turner, who drives the lane. Runs into traffic, just can't get it to drop. And a cheap foul by Judy Guest, trying to reach in for the clean strip. Catch his arm, though. 16-9, Wesleyan up. It'll be inbounded. Tracy Wilson bringing the ball up. Out to Calhoun, inside. Wesleyan seems to be really intent on forcing that ball inside, but they'll hear it from long distance. It's a nice shot by Calhoun.
Calhoun's got 6 quick points.
Again, the one-on-one move, she drives the lane, is fouled by Judy Guess. She picks up 2 quick ones in a hurry. And Calhoun will go back to the line. IPFW is not really helping themselves early here, are they, Mike?
Well, the turnovers have stored the game so far. IPFW with 7 turnovers so far, and at that rate, they're going to darn near hit the 20 mark before this half is over. And you just can't expect to stay in a ball game or
well, they're shooting painfully cold there
by doing that. And Stacy Calhoun has not helped in that regard. That's her 7th point.
She makes a first shot of a 2-shot foul and makes both of them. Wesleyan 20, IPFW 9. Miller trying to dribble against traffic. Newhouser picks up the loose ball. It'll be 2-on-2. The numbers just aren't there. She'll slow it up.
Good defensive pressure by Kentucky Wesleyan. They've got a nice game plan tonight. They're sticking with it, and it's working very well so far in the first part of the first half.
Merrill driving the paint. Can't get it. Hits the back end of the rim. Miller pump fakes one. Puts it up. That's two.
Good looking shot by Miller.
Nice move by Lisa Miller. Cuts the deficit to 9. Trapping defense by IPFW, but Calhoun will answer with that with a 3-point shot from long range.
Wasn't so sure that you want to leave her open even from that long a range, because she has just a beautiful touch from the outside.
Merrill from about 12. Rebound by Turner. Follows it up again. And she finds the bottom of the net there. Nice power move. Just kept with it.
Sarah's got 4 points, and boy, they needed that bucket badly. They're down by 10.
Wilson drives, kicks it out to Calhoun. The hot hand so far, but a nice entry move.
Boy, she missed an easy layup, the backdoor play.
Number 32, Tracy Watson, just couldn't find the range.
And who are they going to call the foul on? That's the question.
Number 31, still remaining in the first half. The Lady Dons still down by 10. Robin Scott to inbound against full court pressure by the Lady Panthers. Scott with the ball, bringing it up. Guarded closely by Alice Shade. Passing it off to Dawn Harbaugh. Harbaugh going against Wilson. Scott looking over the defense. Outside to Harbaugh. A nice move by Merrill after the defender slipped.
Well, Tina,
easy too.
Tina needed that for her confidence. She's missed some easy shots, and she needed to get that one down.
Wilson bringing it up against Harbaugh. Out to Calhoun. Inside, nice passing by the Lady Panthers, but it's stripped nicely by the Dons.
Good defense by Turner. Intimidated her underneath.
Merrill pushes it up. Wesleyan in a 2-3 zone. Turner, nice move. That's a great pass by Robin Scott.
That's what they need, Sarah Turner. Sarah's got 6 points.
Wilson bringing it again, once again up against Harbaugh. Man-to-man pressure. Calhoun, the nice move. She's fouled by Tina Merrill. Calhoun had her beat. Merrill had to reach from behind her. Got called for the foul. She'll be shooting 2. With that foul, that puts Kentucky Wesleyan into the bonus.
She'll have 2 shots on this one. That was on the shot, but you're right, Bob. From now on, they'll be in the bonus situation. And that could also prove costly for IPFW. Kentucky Wesleyan's a very good free throw to shooting team.
10-19 remaining in the first half.
And that's another thing. We've got 10-19 remaining, half of the first half remaining, and they're in the bonus situation. And you don't want this woman on the line because, just like her outside shot, she'll can that free throw. Automatic.
Just like Money in the Bank, she'll hit both of them. And again, full court pressure put on by Kentucky Wesleyan. They break it with a full court length pressure. Harbaugh, the individual move, hits the front end of the rim, no good. Rebound by Grain, pushed up by Wilson. Nice move. Inside, number 31, Alice Shade again with an easy but hard fought 2. And traveling called on the freshman Nighthammer. Another turnover for IPFW, Kentucky Wesleyan ball.
Now, Kentucky Wesleyan definitely the quicker of the 2 teams, and IPFW is just going to have to slow it down a little bit because they can't keep up with Kentucky Wesleyan, at least at this juncture of the game. IPFW a little bit deeper in the bench, in fact, much deeper, and that could prove a factor later on in the game. But right now, it might be best in their favor if they slow it down until Kentucky Wesleyan gets tired, because they aren't quite as deep. In fact, they're not nearly as deep as IPFW.
Calhoun tried to make something happen in the front court. Defensive pressure now put on by the Wesleyans. Tracy Wilson checked out of the ballgame just a few seconds ago, replaced by Amy Golden. And the action underneath the basket, Sarah Turner was fouled in the act of shooting.
Yeah, well, Sarah Turner had excellent defensive position, and a lot of young kids could really learn from the way she blocks out on defense, because she'd have never got that rebound unless she'd have blocked out, obviously.
Newhouser and Leatherwood will check back into the ball game for the Lady Dons. Merrill will inbound. Nighthammer goes out, and Don Harbaugh checks out. Outside to Newhouser. Inbound to Robin Scott. The excellent baseline penetration move to get the easy two.
Quick move by Robin.
9:16 remaining in the first half. 27-19. Kentucky Wesleyan still up.
Could have been called for a carry on that possession there. And nice defense there, too, also.
Taken away by Newhouser. Amy Golden, the backup guard to Tracy Wilson.
Hey, you see, Bob, it's Stacey Calhoun there inbounding the ball with 12 points so far in the first half. Out of their 27, she's almost scored half of their points.
She's been doing a number on IPFW with shots just like that. Almost a three-pointer, but only counts for two. Sloppy inbound play by Robin Scott. It's stolen. Nicely tallied by Kentucky Wesleyan.
Just when I said she had 12 points, all of a sudden she's got 16.
Fast break by IPFW. Robin Scott.
They're going to have to call that good, Bob. They're going to have to call that good. That was during the shot.
We'll have to wait and see what happens. We'll look for the call. Robin Scott with an excellent...
Yeah, they did call it.
They counted. Excellent penetration move by Robin Scott on the fast break. She had the numbers. She decided to take it to the hole herself. Draws the foul and gets the easy two. She'll be trying to convert the three-point play. At the line, Robin Scott. And she's off, but Leatherwood with an excellent rebound. Newhouser running into her own player.
Now, Robin could shoot it from there. She passed up an opportunity, but why not give it to the sure thing, Sarah Turner inside.
Turner, another nice inside move to get two.
And Sarah's got 8 points.
Only down by 8 now. 8:18 remaining in the first session here. Oh, and a nice move. Ella Shade once again, 2 points in the paint. Pushed up again by Newhouser. Fast break. Tough pass, but the call Calhoun for the foul.
That's a tough call. That's a tough call. Well, she had position. I'm not real sure about that call.
That was a tough pass for either Turner or Calhoun to defend against.
And that also could be significant if Stacey Calhoun picks up her third foul here very shortly. She could be out of the rest of the half, and IPFW could...
Scott from outside. Rebound to Merrill inside. She makes a penetrating move into the lane. Just can't find the bottom. Rebound Kentucky Wesleyan, pushed up by Golden.
There's a lid on that, baby.
They simply have not been finding the right touch. Excellent play by Robin Scott to save that ball from going out of bounds. Newhouser leading the break. She had a 4-on-3. Wisely decided to hold up. Leatherwood
Sarah can shoot
to Turner.
that. She can shoot that.
Oh, but you can't find the range either. I think they're taking good shots. They're just not able to find the right rotation on it. What he said. Excellent move by the inside.
Now you see,
overplayed it, but Dallas Shade beat her and took her straight to the basket.
You see, Bob, there's what happens when you get a player like Stacey Calhoun. It can can that outside J. 31, their tallest player, Alice Shade, at 5'11", just wide open inside, and she scored 6 buckets off the setup on the outside shooting by Stacey Calhoun. And Stacey Calhoun, by the way, has 16 points here already in the first half.
I want to remind everybody the score is 35-23 here at 7:09 of the first half, which we're having a couple of technical difficulties here. Coach Tara Wazinski had just about seen enough, called timeout. I want to remind everybody that you're watching another sports exclusive here on Channel 23, your IPFW Mastodon Sports Connection. I'm Bob Kramer once again with Mike Neely. This is the first game of a 2-game doubleheader. The action here at the IPFW Athletic Center.
And you can see the score there with 7:09 left, and boy, Kentucky Wesleyan just holding off the onslaught of IPFW. I tell you, IPFW is deep enough to wear this team out, but you know, it just depends on when that's going to happen. If they wear them out towards the end of the half, and that's good actually if they're not too far behind. But if they don't wear them out till you know, when the game's almost over and Kentucky Wesleyan's got a huge lead, then it's going to be too late. But sooner or later, Kentucky Wesleyan's going to get tired.
Wesleyan came out with full court pressure. Once again, sagging back in against a 2-3. Leatherwood inside. She'll be called for the traveling violation as well. Just seems like IPFW just hasn't been getting the breaks that they've been needed to play.
Well, I
even
think
with
you got to
Kentucky
credit.
Wesleyan.
I think you got to credit Kentucky Wesleyan defense. They're doing good on the weak side help and just doing everything that they need to do and doing it right on defense. IPFW a little bit disillusioned as far as
Calhoun called for the traveling violation. Really didn't see that one, but we won't disagree with the officials' call there. Lisa Miller substituting in for the Lady Dons.
You have to speak for yourself there, Bob.
Hey, we'll take it any way we can get it. You're down by 12. You'd be looking for act of divine providence at this stage in the game.
Boy, I don't know about that.
Well, maybe a 12-1 run. How about that? Nighthammer inside, excellent shot, looped it over the blocker's hand.
Yeah, nobody can block that. Nobody, especially nobody in Kentucky Western. Their tallest player is 5'10", and Needhammer at 6'1". Boy, she's a big woman too.
She's a load, I'll tell you that much. Inside into Green.
She got away with a little push off there, but
she's a big girl too. She may not be the tallest one out there, but she's got a stocky build. Judy Guess trying to break Kentucky Wesleyan full court pressure into Robin Scott. She's got 3-on-2. Passes off.
Boy.
Nighthammer couldn't find him. Lisa Miller, fouled in the act of shooting. Couldn't find the bottom of the nets. She'll go to the line to shoot too. 6:01 remaining here in the first half.
Now Lisa Miller's the second leading scorer in IPFW. She averages 15.8 points a game. And so far in this ball game, she's got 2 points. So they're going to need a little more output from her. And so far, she's been shut down. But hopefully she'll make these 2 free throws and get back on track.
Lisa Miller at the line. And she sort of bricks the first one. Not sort of. I think we can actually say she did. That, not a good shot on the part of Lisa Miller.
There's a good look at Lisa Miller.
That's better. And she makes it back in. 37-26 the score. Kentucky Wesleyan. Calhoun not really able to handle that ball. She kicks it out to Wilson. Entry pass. Knocked away. Outside shot. Rebounded by Robin Scott. I'm sorry. Check that. Newhouser bringing the ball up.
No, Amy, this IPFW could cut it down to 9 now, which...
Robin Scott outside. NBN, nothing but nylon.
And she does. She cut it down to 9 points now. IPFW making a little run here with 5:25 left. 37-28.
Wilson back in the ball game. Tina Merrill waiting to also check back into the action. Watson outside to Wilson. Watson again with the ball, closely guarded by Robin Scott. Out to Calhoun. She's deadly from that range. This is on that one. Rebound by the freshman, Lisa Miller. She had the numbers.
Nice pass inside.
Judy Gass with the 2.
And let's get a TO.
She's seen enough.
Yeah, Mike Simpson calls timeout. They definitely need one.
IPFW starting to make a quick run here at the end of the first half. Only down by 7, 37-30, as you see the score right there. The action starting to turn a little nicer for IPFW.
Yeah, with 4:56 left in the first half, IPFW would like nothing better than to cut that lead down to at least, not be within a couple of baskets before the half ends. And it looks like they're on their way to doing that because, before, like I said, it looked a little bit worrisome for them because they could have kind of given up after missing all those outside shots and could have just kind of slacked off on offense and defense both. But Sarah Turner took over in the mid part of the first half, and that really helped them out because she started really working on the inside and brought them back into this ball game, and that opened up the outside. So there was a case where the inside work opened up the outside, and then they started canning the outside shots. So It's a tough game to figure out, Bob. I have no idea what I'm talking about half the time. So.
That's quite all right, Mike. Cheryl Rosicki, she'll be awfully glad if they're still within striking distance with the way her Lady Dons have played so far. I wouldn't say that they played bad, but they've just played inconsistent so far. They just haven't been hitting the shots that they've been working for. And Calhoun bringing it up against Dawn Harbaugh, using her offhand, but she won't be called for it. What will be called for is the foul.
That's a touch foul, and I'm really not so sure about that. She would have been called for traveling had it not been for that foul, but that's a tough one because that's going to give them 2 free shots, and she's deadly from the free throw line.
Well, I think they're calling the 1-and-1, I believe.
Well, you might as well call it 2 because she's going to can them both.
Point well taken. Calhoun at the line has been dead solid, perfect.
Run that by me again there, bud.
Something like that.
Oh, she's dead solid perfect on that one. She got a perfect form to the line.
I'm sorry, I thought I saw Randy Quaid around here somewhere. Sarah Turner back into the ball game.
That doesn't take much brains to call this. I mean, to call this made because she's got perfect form for the line. She just doesn't miss.
Yeah, you'll jinx her on this one. Well, maybe not.
That's
well,
NBN.
All right.
That's NBN.
All right, nothing but nylon. All right. I'll let you be the clever guy for once. Merrill bringing it up.
Thank you very much.
Harbaugh sizing up the defense. Closely guarded. Scott out to Harbaugh. Harbaugh looks it over. Outside to Scott. 4:29 left. Lisa Miller. Penetration move.
That's a
gets the deuce.
Lisa's got 4 points. That was a strong move there inside. She was determined to get up with that ball.
Starting to look a little more active here in the offensive scheme. Wilson bringing it up. Calhoun, the sharpshooter, outside to Wilson, outside to Watson. Looking it over, looking for an opening, looking for the cutter. Inside. Can't find. And Miller tries to bring it up. A little heavy action here. Outside to Merrill.
Yeah, passed it up.
Looked like she wanted to look for that three-point range. Couldn't find it, but she's wide open there. She'll hit from 3. Counted. She is the trifecta. Beautiful shot by Tina Merrill.
Yeah, Tina Merrill shooting 40% from the three-point land.
And all of a sudden, it's a 4-point game. And a stupid turnover. Wilson just throws it to Lord knows who.
I think he does know.
39-35 remaining here in the first half. The action starting to get a little hot, a little exciting. Tightening it up. 39-35 inbound to Scott. She gets the shooter's roll. 37-39, a 2-point ball game.
8 points for Robin.
IPFW starting to put it a little more together than they were earlier in this half. Wilson passes it off Watson's shoe. Tough defense by the Lady Dons, and Harbaugh with a big turnover. She's got a 2-on-1. She takes it off. Oh, and they'll call the jump ball. I think she waited a little too long to pass that ball. She was going to take it by herself. She just waited a little too long.
You got to admire Stacey Calhoun with 2 fouls. She could have been called for the 3rd foul on that, but she got the alternating possession to go their way, and now they can stave off that rally.
She had the numbers, but IPFW has done a wonderful job cutting the deficit down to 2. Watson passing it off. Nice defense by Lisa Miller. And it'll be Kentucky Wesleyan ball.
Well,
nice
it's happening,
defense.
Bob. You can see right now that Kentucky Wesleyan is slower. Their starters they have rarely substituted, and their starters are tired right now. IPFW could just put on a 2-minute spurt here and take the lead before this half
from
ends.
the outside.
But not if she
She'll stop
shoots.
that run.
Not if she shoots.
Three-pointer for Calhoun. The girl has been on fire this first half.
Got 21 points.
Turner on the inside. May have been partially blocked. Wesleyan pushing it up. Calhoun, the tough move, and she's hammered by Dawn Harbaugh.
I think Dawn just got her money's worth on that foul.
It'll be second down. Oh, I'm sorry. It'll be a 2-shot foul. For Stacey Calhoun, who's been the offensive production for the Lady Panthers this first half, without a doubt. She'll be shooting 2:21 remaining. Here on this channel's 23 production of IPFW Sports. 39-35 Wesleyan
strikes at the line, and she's got 22 points here so far in the first half.
Calhoun really doing a number here on IPFW's defense.
It's 43 to 37, and we got 2:21 left in the first half. And she's got now 23 points, Bob. Unbelievable.
She's been automatic. Harbaugh brings it up. Looking for action down inside. They're looking to force it inside. I think they can attack that middle. And there's their big gun, Sarah Turner by herself.
Turner's got a super touch there from the outside.
She's really finding her stroke there, I tell you.
That makes 9 points for Sarah Turner.
Wilson with the ball. Almost loses the handle. Calhoun.
Well, they got her double team now, as you can see.
It's about time, I'm thinking. Oh, and a beautiful move. Robin Scott, nice move just to keep the ball in balance. She'll take it herself against Wilson. A little hard with the layup. But Tina Merrill comes up with the loose ball. Inside to Lisa Miller. She double pumps. It's blocked.
That was a good block, and that was a good no call by the ref. Credit the ref for a good call there, but the IPFW eventually picked up the foul there. But that was an excellent block.
Miller collects a foul from Stacey Oakley. She'll be shooting too. She made a nice penetration move. Got him going up with the pump, but just couldn't get it to go as she got blocked. But she'll be shooting two at the line. Minute 31 remaining here in this first half. IPFW down by 5.
Lisa's too good of a free throw shooter to miss more than 2 in a row.
Wesleyan, number 23, Stacey Oakley, her second personal foul, going to the line for IPFW. Number 45, Robin Scott for the 1-1.
Unbelievable points here in the first half.
Scott out to Newhouser, out to Merrill. Merrill will hope to answer, and she does. 3 points. Another beautiful shot by Merrill.
Yeah, Merrill's got 11 points now. She's in double figures also for the first half.
20 seconds remaining in the half. Wesleyan will look for the last shot. Tough defense. Watson drives, and she is fouled. Or is she? No, they'll call the charge.
Yes, maybe he might want to take his time next time on that call.
I don't know. I thought he was waiting for room service or something. I wasn't really aware on that charge.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what IPFW has in mind here for this last 10 seconds.
You see Watson, nicely defense, and she'll run right into, but Judy Guess will take the charge. Nicely done. We go back to live action.
Got 6
7
seconds.
seconds. Judy Guess on the outside. Oh, they'll call the traveling. 4 seconds remaining. Wesleyan will look for a desperation shot at the end of the half. Full court pressure by IPFW. Wilson. And they won't even get the shot off.
Close, so.
And
it wouldn't have counted anyway.
I don't think it would have counted. He waved it off as soon as she tried to shoot it. And that's the first half. IPFW up 49. Or down, I'm sorry, 49 to 44 here in this first half. The action a little wild and woolly.
Yeah, well, IPFW is actually, in my opinion, but that's just my opinion, which it means about as much as your opinion, Bob. But 49-44. IPFW fortunate to only be down by 5. Again, at the latter part of the first half, they had a chance to catch up and pretty much take the lead, actually, but they missed a couple of free throws down the stretch here in the first half, and Kentucky Wesleyan just hung tough. Now, how tough they'll hang in the second half remains to be seen, but I've got a feeling, and it's just a hunch, that IPFW is going to wear them out and eventually walk away with this win, because Kentucky Wesleyan, I just don't think can keep up with 5 or 6 players deep when IPFW's got 9 players deep.
I've been informed that we've been having some technical difficulties. I hope the folks tuning in will please stand by. We'll have them corrected for you as soon as humanly possible. I'm assured by the technical staff here at Channel 23. We'll be right on it as soon as possible. But in the meantime, halftime score, 49-44. Kentucky Wesleyan up by 5. Mike, in your estimate, IPFW has obviously not put together their best half of ball. What do you think Rosinski is going to tell them in the halftime?
Well, I think she's got to feel, like I said before, happy to only be down by 5. And Kentucky Wesleyan, matchup-wise, both teams fairly evenly matched. IPFW's got a little height advantage, and they're definitely, and I can repeat this over and over, but they're much stronger on the bench, and that's going to be, I think, the telltale sign in this game, unless Kentucky Wesleyan can really or is in a lot better shape than most other teams, because I think they're evenly matched, and IPFW is the better of the two teams only because of their bench strength.
Obviously, Rosinski's got to do something about the hot hand of Calhoun. The girl's just been lighting up from practically everywhere, including the concession stand. Do you think we're going to see a new type of defense, probably double teamer, triple teamer? Because I don't really see a whole lot of offensive production coming from the rest of the Lady Panthers lineup. They've made a couple of nice moves inside the paint, but most of their scoring has, of course, come from Calhoun.
Well, Alice Shade, when Calhoun's hitting, Calhoun, they're leaving open and concentrating on Alice Shade, and Calhoun just burned them with 26, and they're definitely going to have to put some more pressure on Stacy Calhoun, but in that process, Alice Shade will probably come away with another good second half. So.
Okay, we got an interview with Coach Terry Rosinski back in the studio. Stay tuned for a fascinating and close-up look with the coach of the Lady Dons.
Welcome to this edition of Coach's Corner. My name is Dan Gebhardt. I'm the Assistant Athletic Director here at IPFW, and with us today as our guest is Terry Rosinski, the coach of the Lady Don basketball team. Terry, tell us a little bit about your team and some of its goals, some of its personnel, and those kinds of things.
Well, I guess I'll start with telling you where we're at right now. We're 7-4. We have just come back from 2 tough losses on the road to start off our conference play. We feel very encouraged. We have 2 home games coming up this week. I guess the one word that could sum up our team is that we're very young. We're starting 2 freshmen, 2 sophomores, and a junior. We do not have any seniors on the squad. And our first 2 or 3 people off the bench are freshmen. So right now we're experiencing some growing pains, but feel very positive about our prospects for the future. Not necessarily next year, and we're not, putting our hopes on next year, but I feel very positive and have very high expectations for this group for this year as well.
You mentioned the inexperience in your young freshmen coming in. You've got to feel very good about how they're playing. You've won 7 games already, as you mentioned, as compared to 5 all of last year. Off to a slow start in the conference maybe, and yet you played 2 of the toughest teams on the road to start out the conference competition. You've got to feel good about how your freshmen are responding to the things you're trying to teach
Yes,
them.
I am. We did not start with an easy non-conference schedule. I feel that we had some very, very competitive teams. Obviously, we lost 2 in our preseason non-conference games. But I do feel very good about where we're at. Our freshmen have responded quite well, especially with an offense.
For Wesleyan, and a nice turnaround move by Lisa Miller. Opens up the first half, scoring.
And Lisa's got 6.
It's now a 3-point deficit. IPFW still much into this game. In pass. And Lisa Miller is called for the foul. First
Amy
foul
Gruen,
of the second half.
yeah, that's what they need to do, Bob. Get it into Amy Gruen, and she'll do the rest of the work. If they keep that kind of play up, working the ball inside, it's going to open up once again Stacey Calhoun.
She's just been handling up. Just been handling Lisa Miller on the inside there.
Yeah, but she picked up a foul on that one. Bad pass inside, which caused that turnover.
And IPFW will take it out on the side. 19-11, just starting the second half. IPFW down 46-49. Action just underway. Newhouser with the ball. Guarded closely by Wilson. Robin Scott outside. Out top to Newhouser. Newhouser, the drive. Scott outside to Turner.
No.
Almost thrown away by Turner, who drives the lane.
But she could have been called
under
for traveling
pressure,
there.
But she'll get the 2. No call. And it's a 1-point ball game. IPFW looking to take the lead on the next possession if they can hold Wesleyan here. Wilson out to Calhoun. She's short. Rebound by Lisa Miller. IPFW can take the lead right here.
She missed one, Bob. Can you believe that?
And IPFW's Tina Merrill throws it just foul at third baseline, out of bounds.
Well, I realize Tina's got 13 points, but she's done a number of things tonight that just unlike her. Being the leader of this team, being the senior, she's just done a few. Well, she's a junior, excuse me, but she's definitely a leader of this team.
She plays like a senior. Wilson bringing it up against pressure. Outside to Watson, counted 2 points.
That's 4 for Tracy Watson.
Newhouser bringing it up, man pressure. Out to Miller, closely guarded by Calhoun. Doing it at both ends of the floor. Turner, nice ball fake. And in the paint, counted 2 points for Turner. Turner really starting to light up the board now.
Turner heating up now with 12 points.
Turner becoming a major force here in the midway stage. And it's thrown away by Wilson. Turnover for Kentucky Wesleyan. IPFW ball.
Well, they got a chance to take the lead now, Bob. 17:40 left.
This will be a big emotional lift for IPFW if they can take the lead right here on this possession. Newhouser out to Merrill. Inside to Turner, the hot hand for the Lady Dons.
Well,
She'll have to kick it back out as she's double teamed. Merrill
could have definitely been
looking
another
into Robin Scott. Turner, another nice ball fake. She'll go into the lane and count it. IPFW takes its first lead of the ball game, 52-51 here at 17:15 remaining in the second half.
You can't buy a softer touch than Sarah Turner.
She's really finding the groove, I'll tell you. Beautiful move by Turner. Nice weak side help by the Lady Dons, but they knock it out of bounds. Still Kentucky Wesleyan ball.
Crowd still isn't sure whether to get up and whoop it up or just wait for Kentucky Wesleyan to make a run back.
Nice play by Miller. Physical contact inside. Newhouser's got a 3-on-1. Miller, one too many passes.
Maybe that's the reason for the crowd
they
being
thought it might have been last touch by Calhoun. But they'll say there was no contact. Kentucky Wesleyan ball.
Nobody wants to take control of the game yet, Bob. The first half started off, or the second half here started off very well for IPFW, but they've yet to show signs that they're going to start taking control.
Wilson guarded closely by Newhouser. Out to Watson. Watson looking for the cutter. Calhoun knocked away, controlled by IPFW. She had the numbers. Miller stops and pops. And she gets the shooter's bounce. IPFW takes a 3-point lead. 54-51. IPFW is really starting to take command of this ball game, Mike. And that's a push-off foul. No, they'll call the blocking foul on Amy Newhouser.
Yeah, Amy a little bit too aggressive on that play.
Yeah, she may have been a little fatigued on that. Rosinski sees that. She'll call for the substitution, bringing in Dawn Harbaugh. Calhoun to inbound. Out to Wilson. Outside to Watson. Nicely guarded by Scott, and is taken away. She's got a 4-on-1 if she hurries. Merrill, nice inbound pass, counted. Nice work by Merrill and Turner. That was a beautiful move as IPFW takes a 5-point lead here at 16:01 remaining in the second half.
Now, credit Sarah Turner. Boy, she's
That's a nice move there on the replay. You see Merrill with a nice bounce pass on the fast break.
Yeah, and that's 2 assists in the last 30 seconds that Merrill has had. Very important here in this run. And Sarah Turner now has 16 points and wasn't even in the top scorers column at the end of the half. So she's ran off 8 quick points here in 4 minutes.
There's Coach Andy Piazza. He'll be in action with his not Lady Mastodons. Check that. With his Mastodons, he'll be in action against the number 1 preseason pick of a number of polls going against Kentucky Wesleyan, and
we're going to go to our camera person. She's looking good tonight.
All of a sudden,
happy.
it's home movie time here at Channel 23. And we're going to go back to live action.
Yeah, we're live, all right.
Almost. Don Harbaugh will take it out. IPFW. Hi, everybody. That's my back. That's his back. Just in case you were forgetting, I'm Bob Kramer. This is Mike Nealer. You're watching Channel 23, another sports exclusive.
I don't know exactly what the referee is discussing with Coach Brzezinski and Coach Simpson, but, who knows?
And
course,
it
Bob,
seems to be something fairly serious. Brzezinski looks a little vehement over there.
Now, Bob, I tell you what, it might be the same thing we had on
Oh, Lord, I hope
last
not.
Tuesday night.
I don't know.
You see, they just can't decide exactly where to eat tonight. See, that's...
No, we can't keep coming up with the same excuse for that. I mean, they've been in town. She's been here a couple of years. You got to know where to eat around here. It's got to be another argument. I don't know. Maybe to work... I don't know where to get your car work done, you know? I don't know. You got to find something acceptable explanation. We'll try and find out later in the broadcast what was going on. But now back to live action as Coach Terry Brzezinski not looking real happy right about now. There's Tracy Wilson one-on-one against Dawn Harbaugh. Out to Watson. She'll take the outside shot. Rebound. Nicely done by Lisa Miller. She's got the fast break, but she holds up. Merrill still pushing it up. She'll slow it down. And to Sarah Turner, who loses it. Couldn't find the grip. And they'll call the foul. We'll see who is it on. It looks like it's going to be on Calhoun.
I think that's on Sarah Turner.
Sarah Turner. Okay, there we go. Check that.
She lost the ball in retaliation there. Kind of swatted the arm and tried to take it away.
We were looking for the call. And there's Tracy Wilson bringing it up again.
Well, IPFW with a 5-point lead, 15:35 left. They're still making a few mistakes here and preventing them from really taking a good substantial lead here.
Calhoun's been strangely silent here in the Kentucky Wesleyan offense, haven't they, Mike?
Well, they've shut her down from the outside. They're concentrating on her, and it's paying off so far because they've got a 5-point lead now. And when she doesn't score, Kentucky Wesleyan has a hard time figuring out what to do. Right now, as you can see, they're trying to force it inside, and they're getting a few foul calls for them, but they're also throwing the ball away, too.
Substitution in for IPFW. Judy Guest checks in. And there's Wilson. Watson makes a one-on-one move against Guest. Can't find the basket, but Kentucky Wesleyan's right there on the boards. Tapped out by Turner. There's a call.
Yeah, they're going to call that on.
And I believe the foul's on Dawn Harbaugh. There you go. Dawn Harbaugh. Call one right, Mike. You may want to get this on videotape.
Yes, Dawn's third foul. They've got 5 fouls now against him, so that could be a factor. It could be giving Kentucky Wesleyan a rest later on in the ball game when they go to the free throw line.
Watson inside to Green. And she cans that one. It's a 3-point ball game. IPFW still up, 56-53 with 15:03 remaining here in the second half. Oh, and that's a nice knee by number 31, Alice Shade.
A nice knee.
A well-placed knee. How about that? She collects the foul.
Now there's Robin Scott taking it out of bounds. She's done a good job this half so far, shutting down Stacy Calhoun.
Harbaugh to Scott. Scott looking it over. Out to Guess. Guess nicely guarded by Calhoun. Into Merrill, who tries to make the strong move to the basket. She's a lot of bumping inside, but Alice Shea comes down with the ball game, and Robin Scott picks up the desperation foul. Slaps her on the forearm. And IPFW has committed 6 fouls already. 14:40 remaining. Could come into a big factor later in this contest.
I think Terry's upset about that. I'll tell you, 6 fouls at this juncture of the game with 14 minutes left. It's going to do nothing but go Kentucky Wesleyan's favor. That is, if they make the foul shots.
Watson looks inside to Green. Again, Green with the 2. She's found her range.
Now look for that, Bob, to open it up for Stacey Calhoun now. So they're going to have to watch that. Green is starting to heat up from the inside. That's going to leave Calhoun wide open.
Merrill for 3. That's off. And Guess, a strong rebound, forcing it away, and she'll get it. Guess stripped the ball away from Calhoun. Nicely done.
She didn't look like she could strip it away from a fly, but she's a lot stronger than she looks, believe me.
Yeah, she's a tough player. Watson with the ball, out to Wilson. A lot of jostling inside between Shade and Turner. Calhoun drives, and she'll be fouled by Judy Guess. It's 58-55. IPFW still leading by 3 with 13:48 remaining.
Now, Kentucky Wesleyan hanging tough. IPFW looked like they were going to run away with it there in the first part of the second half, but well, I tell you, Kentucky Wesleyan is game tonight.
Nancy Townsend substitution for IPFW. Tina Merrill will go out. Nice job by Tina Merrill.
Well, Tina's yet to get on track here in the second half. She had 13 points at the end of the first half and is still at 13 points. She's made a few
Amy Green
very good assists.
At the line.
But that's definitely one gal there that has made an impact. Amy Green has got 16 points now, and she only had 10 at the end of the first half.
But should be noted that foul puts Kentucky Wesleyan into the bonus with 13:48 remaining. Coach Terry Brzezinski didn't want that to happen this early in the contest. Harbaugh brings it up against man-to-man pressure. Nice defense by Watson. Townsend outside to Scott. Turner, she's been the hot hand for the Lady Dons. Defended by Green. Judy Guess working against Calhoun. Out to Townsend, 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Turner makes the drive, shoots it 1 second at the buzzer, it'll count.
Pressure shot by Sarah Turner.
60-57.
That gives Sarah Turner 18 points here in the game.
Wilson drives the lane, she'll take it herself. The foul and the basket will count. That was a beautiful move by Wilson. Nice drive to the lane. She got fouled. I didn't think that ball had any chance of going into the hole.
Well, it didn't actually, except it hit the backboard. And sometimes the backboard causes the ball to do funny things.
Here's the action at the other end. There you go. There's the action. She's fouled and the basket will count. We go back to the foul shots.
That's Tracy Wilson's first bucket, and she's going to try to make this a three-point play. That's a big play because they can tie it up on this free throw, and they do.
And she converts it nicely. And full court pressure once again put on by the Lady Panthers as Nancy Townsend had trouble, but she's fouled in the backcourt. That's only Kentucky Wesleyan's third foul of the second half. Far away from the bonus. Inbounded by Townsend to Newhouser. Newhouser will bring it up behind the back dribble. Outside to Guess, who fires it into Townsend, who finds Turner. She couldn't find it. She throws up the desperation shot. It won't fall, but she'll go to the line.
Well, credit Judy Guess there for some great hustle and coming to get that loose ball and the rebound there. You know, the Kentucky Wesleyan players thought there's no problem there. We have everybody blocked out, and along comes Judy Guess.
She throws it up, but she
finds a hole.
Nice two-point takedown there by Tracy Watson. And she'll go to the line to shoot at 60 all, with 12:46 remaining.
Yeah, Judy Guess is shooting 71% from the free throw line. She's got a nice form.
And there you go. There's the first half. Neidhammer back in the ball game for IPFW.
Yeah, they're going to need Neidhammer to negate the impact of Grun.
And there you go, a big rebound. Newhouser out to Guess from long range. No, it won't go. Rebound by Shade. Kentucky Wesleyan pushes it up.
Whoa,
Calhoun, far away. No, won't count it. She shot that from another area code almost, but it won't go. She's had a hot hand. That usually drops for her. And IPFW slows it down, out to guess. Looks it over, looking for Niehammer and down below. Out to Newhouser. She works herself free, double teamed, and she puts it up, but it won't drop.
Well, there's a little inexperience for you. She should have really actually dished that back outside. She had two defenders on her, although she is taller and can get the shot away. It was a tough shot.
Calhoun drives. She's partially blocked, but they'll call her for. IPFW will be called for the foul and the slap of the hand.
Yeah, Nancy Townsend committed that foul. She's got 3 of them.
There's the replay. Just caught the last part of that. Slapped the hand as she was driving through the lane. Tina Merrill will check back into the ball game for Nancy Townsend. Nice couple of minutes for Nancy Townsend. Calhoun to the line for 2.
Well, she's got her opportunity to score her first points in the second half, and IPFW should credit the defense. They've done a good job in stopping her, but they haven't stopped one other woman.
Oh, you didn't say it, Mike. I thought she was automatic from the line.
I didn't say it that time. See, that's why she missed.
Yeah, you jinxed her. Lisa
Right,
Miller
so
also
maybe
back.
I just keep my mouth shut.
It'd be awfully lonely up here, Mike. I'll tell you that much.
Well, even Larry Bird misses him once in a while. Rick Barry missed him once in a while. This guy.
So it was rumored. And she missed it twice. But Kentucky Wesleyan with the rebound. Shade comes up with it. And she got mugged, but action hot and heavy under the basket, but she'll be called for being out of bounds as the ball got knocked into her hands, but she was laying right on the line.
Yeah, you're
There's
right.
the action. She's on the ground, but look, her elbow drops right on the line. Nice camera work by our Channel 23 experts.
You're right, Bob. She did get mugged, but the robbers are free, and here they come down the court.
Scott drops it, pops. Last touched by IPFW. By Kentucky Wesleyan. Check that. It'll still be IPFW ball. Tina Merrill to check it. Newshouser outside. And ball knocked out of bounds by Kentucky Wesleyan once again. 26 seconds remaining on the shot clock. IPFW clinging to a 1-point lead here with 11:31 remaining in the second half. Miller across to Scott, but Scott foolishly throws it away into the hands of Tracy Watson. Turnover, IPFW.
Bob, I'm not so sure that wasn't a set play for Tina Merrill, though, and she may have forgot her assignment because it was a play where Merrill should have been under the basket.
Leatherwood tries to defend against Calhoun, but her offensive prowess isn't to be denied. Newhouser having a little trouble in the backcourt there.
Boy, you want to make sure that she doesn't get on track again like she did in the first half.
Well, and that's thrown away. Another turnover by IPFW. Calhoun to drive.
Boy, did she get fouled. And I tell you, that's amazing they didn't call it, but evidently good defensive play there.
That's an incredible turnaround as they're calling Wilson for the foul. See, there's the drive. Maybe no contact right there, but Miller goes up for the rebound, and she got jumped over the back.
Coach Simpson for Kentucky Wesleyan is livid right now. He can't believe there wasn't a foul call there on that fast break, and
well,
I got to agree with him.
If we could see that replay once again, you'll see that there wasn't a whole lot of body contact.
Okay.
It looked like they went straight up, and the girl just tangled over their own feet. Well, we'll have it for you on the cable wrap-up later, I suppose. I don't know. Whatever that is. Merrill drives the lane. And counted. That's 2 points for Tina Merrill. Really starting to take charge here in the second half. 10:40 remaining. IPFW jumps back ahead, 63-62.
Yeah, that's Merrill's first 2 in the second half, and that gives her 15 for the game.
That was a strong move by Merrill at the other end. And thrown away by Watson. Green couldn't find the handle on it. It'll be a turnover for Kentucky Wesleyan. IPFW gets the ball.
Now IPFW up by 1 with only 10 minutes left here.
Panthers tried to put on full court pressure, but Merrill stuffs that with a nice bank shot from about 8 feet, and Wesleyan will call a timeout.
Well, maybe we're going to see the Tina Merrill show here from now on.
I couldn't be more happier. With 10:16 remaining, there you go. You see Tina Merrill. Nice off the glass move for the easy 2. 10:16 remaining here in the second half. IPFW up 65-62. As you're watching this sports exclusive here on The Connection for IPFW, Channel 23.
You got to remind our viewers also that after this game, we'll be showing you at 7:30 the men's basketball between Kentucky Wesleyan and IPFW, and that's going to be a treat. IPFW men's basketball coming off that
stunning, I would say.
I'd say stunning. I don't really think so much. Yeah. Devastating, but it was definitely a stunning loss to Indiana Tech. Not so much that they lost, but that they lost in a big fashion. And it was a letdown game, no doubt about that. But I got a feeling it's going to be an excellent game here between Kentucky Wesleyan and IPFW tonight, because Andy Piazza is not the type of coach to dwell on one loss for very long.
Oh, absolutely not. As we look across the Mastodon, the IPFW Athletic Center Kentucky Wesleyan boosters are already here in force in their famed purple.
There'll be more of them, Bob, believe me.
Oh, I think they almost multiply on the trip up from Kentucky. It's kind of scary if you think about it. And they'll also have those awful noisemakers, but I guess that's what makes them so quaint, you know? Calhoun is called for the travel as we go back to live action. Another turnover for Kentucky Wesleyan. That's a slew of turnovers for the Lady Panthers in the last couple of minutes. And that's another foul on Calhoun as she tries to hustle for a turnover, trying to get the Panthers right back on track, but it wasn't meant to be as she's called for the foul in the backcourt. There you go. Now back to live action as you saw the hustle by Calhoun, trying to make something happen for the Lady Panthers as they're down by 3. And we're halfway through this second half. 10 minutes remaining. Newhouser drives the lane. A beautiful move. I guess a couple of times IPFW's just slammed it right down the throat of the Lady Panthers.
And as I look at the IPFW bench, I see one player who hasn't played, and right now they've played 12 players, and all of them have seen significant playing time. This can definitely tell the story as far as you know, Kentucky Wesleyan getting tired at the end there.
Wilson drives, looks for the basket. Turner with excellent position as Amy Shade could have been called for being over the back, but and the call was last touched by Kentucky Wesleyan. It'll be IPFW's ball. The Lady Dons looking to increase their 67-62 lead as Robin Scott will be added to the lineup, checking in for Stacy Leatherwood. Nice support role by Stacy Leatherwood. And there she goes. Judy Guess out to Newhouser. Newhouser, who throws it away by the alert Tracy Watson, who makes the
nice
one-on-one
play, but she got
move.
fouled and was never called, but
could have been called. Nice lead pass by IPFW. Turner gives it up unselfishly to Robin Scott, who gets the deuce. IPFW jumping to a 69-62 lead with 9 minutes remaining.
Robin Scott now with 12 points. That's her first 2 buckets, first 2 points there in the second half. So her and Merrill both got untracked.
Calhoun, strangely silent. A nice job done on her in the second half to stop her.
She's getting
away
all
by
kinds
Robin
of pressure.
Scott. Robin Scott gives her the down, out, and back.
Boy, Sarah just ran into that wall, and she's okay, but boy, she hit it hard.
Just led her by a little too much, and there's a timeout called by Coach Terry Brzezinski. Oh, and boom! Oh my goodness, looked like the white monster at Fenway.
That hurt so bad we had to black out there for a few seconds. 69-62 is the score, Bob, and you know, I see, like I was talking before, I hate to you know, claim that I am some sort of a prophet, but
all right, I'll admit you've been right. You said that the depth of IPFW would win out over the.
Well, it certainly doesn't take a genius to figure that out, but it is true though. IPFW, I mean, they play 12 players, and all of them have seen some good playing time, which is really quite extraordinary for a basketball team to have 12 players that they can play and see as much playing time as they do. Usually, you'll have if you get 12 players in a game, you'll have five of them come in, you know, with 2 minutes left in a blowout. But
you got to credit that to a nice recruiting job by Coach Terry Brzezinski, and also their conditioning program in the off season.
Yeah,
just
really,
unbelievable what she put those girls through to get them in shape for this season. But you can see the results is they're in excellent condition. And they're able to rebound to a 7-point lead here, 8:38 remaining. Full court pressure by the Lady Dons. Wilson brings it up. IPFW putting up a token. Full court pressure. They drop back into a man-to-man. Nice help by Turner. Harbaugh. Turner still out on Calhoun, but nicely picked up by Miller. Turner just all over the court. Nice defense. Slapped it away. 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
Another important thing, Bob, is IPFW has done a good job since they were in the bonus situation to stay away from the fouls. And that's very important.
Comes up with the ball. Rebound by Lisa Miller. And there's Judy Guest by herself. She drives. And she comes up short. We're having technical difficulties, but we're back to action. Wilson by herself gets the bounce.
Well, she got the soft roll there. That's 5 points for Tracy Wilson. Hasn't been much of an impact in this game. She's usually a little bit more of an offensive threat than that.
And the action's starting to go coast to coast. Calhoun almost comes away with a big turnover, but she's called for the timeout, called for the traveling. Check that.
69-64, IPFW's got a 5-point lead with 7:47 left.
If there's one thing IPFW doesn't have in this game, it doesn't appear like they have a knockout punch. They really haven't been able to, when they've had the advantage, they really haven't been able to put the Lady Panthers down and out for any length of period.
Now, Kentucky Wesleyan is hanging in there. You got to give them credit. They've got some good athletes in good shape, obviously.
Inside to Turner. Nice little bump move to get Green off her. And she cans it. It's a 7-point lead once again for IPFW Lady Dons.
Now, Sarah Turner is going to be a star, if she's already a star, but she's going to be unbelievable in the next 2 years.
Still got plenty of time. She's only a sophomore here. Watson tries to get the 2. Can't do it. Calhoun back into Shade, who falls down, gives it off to Wilson, who's throwing up prayers. It's not answered.
Yeah, but
Action's a little uncontrolled, a little chaos, but Wilson able to find the loose ball and put it in. 2 points. Turner with the ball, slows it down out to Lisa Miller, the freshman. Miller, the ball fake move. She tries the baseline. Count it. 2 points for Lisa Miller. And once again, it's a 7-point lead. Kentucky Wesleyan, they're going to need to make a run at this fairly soon here. I just don't think they have the horses out there to get them back in position. But there's Amy Shade missing a bunny, but she puts it right back in. And IPFW is going to regroup pretty quick here. Brzezinski didn't like what she was seeing. It's a 5-point lead. They'll call timeout with 6:27 remaining in the second half. IPFW 73, Kentucky Wesleyan 68.
And you see Coach Brzezinski with the players in the huddle.
And don't even start to think that they're talking about where they're going to eat after the game, all right? We've used that just too many times. All
right. Got Kentucky Wesleyan, you can see the score there. IPFW up 73-68. Stacey Calhoun has 29 points, but she had 27 at halftime, and that's the story so far. She hasn't been able to get untracked, and they need her to can some outside shots. Otherwise, they're going to be in trouble here down the stretch. But also, IPFW's got to stay away from the fouls. They've got 7 fouls called on them during for the 6 minutes left. They've done a good job the last 4 or 5 minutes, and they're going to have to keep it up because Kentucky Wesleyan is really the team that needs the rest, not IPFW. And it's going to be Kentucky Wesleyan's favor, the more fouls that are called.
Yeah, they've really done a nice job on shutting down Calhoun, who just could do no wrong in the first half, pouring in 27 of her 29 in the first half. But since then, just 2 points, and that's been the big story here at the Mastodon. Second half action. Kentucky Wesleyan putting up full court pressure, but Don Harbaugh brings it across, gives it to Leatherwood. Leatherwood out to Merrill. Guarded by Watson. Miller, entry pass into Scott.
Nice turnaround move there.
Finds the range. It's a 7-point ball game once again. 6 minutes remaining.
Robin Scott's got 14 points.
68-75. Wilson by herself, can't find it. And there's a foul called. They'll call it on, I believe, Don Harbaugh.
I believe they're going to call, yeah.
I believe. For the push.
Thought that they were going to call that on Kentucky Wesleyan for over the back, but that looks like they are. It's going to come the other way, and
I'll check that.
IPFW beat the line now.
Both teams now in the bonus with 5:56 remaining. To be honest, I missed that. It'll be Leatherwood at the line shooting for the bonus.
Now, Stacy Leatherwood has hardly been to the free throw line this year at all.
At the line, shooting for a 1-and-1. And that's probably why. That was hit the back end of the rim. And Wilson brings it up. Out to Watson. Watson inside. Nice turnaround move, but it hits the front end of the rim. Harbaugh push it up for the Lady Dons. Up to Merrill. She's got the break, the advantage.
She
nice lane.
Good pull-up move by Tina Merrill, and she did an excellent job there controlling her body and letting the other Kentucky Wesleyan players just fly right by while she laid it softly in.
Nice, powerful, athletic move by Tina Merrill. Shade in the lane. Scott called for the foul on the reach-in.
Yeah, Merrill's got 20 points, by the way. As IPFW is starting to kind of pull away here with a 9-point lead with 5 minutes left.
Yeah, you see Scott. I don't think she was more than happy with that call. But I guess she'll live with it. I don't think she has much of a choice. Leatherwood goes out of the ball game. Newhouser and Sarah Turner in for the Lady Dons, and substituting in for the Lady Panthers, number 24, Amy Green back in. Amy Shade at the foul line. Alice Shade, I'm sorry.
Good look at Alice Shade right there. Nice looking young lady.
At the line.
I sound like Elmer Fudd. Nice looking young lady.
I thought you were married, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she isn't bad, is she? Oh, I'm in trouble already. And she makes both foul shots.
FCC is going to be after you, boy.
Oh, they're always after me. 77-70.
That's because you're so important.
Yeah, that and a bowl of rice. Newhouser outside to Lisa Miller, almost an errant pass. Miller able to corral it into Turner. Miller will be called for the travel. Tough call, especially with 5:05 remaining, up by 7. They really need to get 2 points there. Keep an arm's length away from these charging Lady Panthers. There's Wilson, outside to Calhoun. Calhoun totally shut down.
Nice pass.
But nice pass. Alice Shade couldn't come down with it. Calhoun again, another aggressive move.
Sarah Turner too much inside.
Beautiful block by Turner. She's becoming her own Twin Towers. Oh, nice bounce pass. Nice bounce passes to Newhouser to Miller to convert. Beautiful move.
Her own Twin Tower. Okay.
Calhoun and the green. A little too, couldn't get the roll. Miller, important rebound, and Wilson will be called for the foul. She'll go to the line for the 1-and-1.
Yeah, well, Kentucky Wesleyan can't throw in the ocean right now. It's 4:19, and IPFW can add to that 9-point lead. Looks like they're starting to take control of this game, Bob, and we've waited the whole game till 5 minutes left for them to see that, but it's starting to happen.
Yeah, the Lady Dons starting to look for coffin nails as they're looking to bang this one closed. Newhouser at the line, 1-and-1.
Still plenty of time left, though.
With a 3-point play, anything's possible. But that'll make it a 10-point lead with 4:19, as we once again say. Newhouser looking to convert both. Excellent free throw shooter. Nice form, nice shot. She makes both of them.
Yeah, Amy shooting 73% from the line. She got 4 points tonight.
11-point deficit for the Panthers. Oh, they could have called a traveling right there, but another turnover. IPFW forcing.
You got a 2-on-1, 3-on-1.
Newhouser takes it herself. She says, I want in that scoring column.
She did the right thing.
But kick it back outside. Nice play, nice play. Settling it down. Robin Scott takes some of the air out of the ball. Sarah Turner with the ball fake, looking for something to happen. And Robin Scott will be called for over the back.
Not that good a shot by Sarah. Actually, Newhouser did the right thing by pulling up with that jumper. She just missed it, but
And there's the action. You see Scott jumping all over Alice Shade.
I think Coach Brzezinski was looking for a little bit better shot than that out of Sarah Turner.
Well, she had plenty of time on the shot clock. She had over 20 seconds, and with 3:50 remaining and an 11-point lead, the last thing you want to do is take meaningless shots like that. Alice Shade once again at the line.
It would have meant, you know what's funny, Bob?
What's that?
It would have meant a whole lot. We'd have been probably saying something completely different if she'd have made it, right?
Tough move on the inside. Yeah, that's the hot hand.
Right,
That probably would have been something like that. Yeah.
Coach Brzezinski was, that was a nice shot there, Sarah.
Isn't it always here? The GOAT hero syndrome, I don't know. Alice Shade makes the first stand of the
There's
one-on-one.
Alice Shade.
There she goes. A fine-looking woman, as we once again say. And she makes both of them. Maybe we'll hear from her parents. Who knows?
Boy, Robin Scott was just waiting on somebody, and all of a sudden she found out I don't have the ball.
Watson from the outside. No goal. Rebound by Robin Scott.
Oh, boy, she got away.
Physical action. She got away with an elbow there.
That's boy, they should have called that. I can't believe the ref was looking right at it.
Starting to turn into roller derby all of a sudden here at the Mastodon. Scott by herself out to Merrill.
I wouldn't go quite that far.
All right, maybe not roller derby. All right. I don't know. Starting to get a little physical in the late stages. Turner.
Sarah got pushed in the back about as hard as you could get pushed, but she's strong enough to put it in, and she did it.
Excellent positioning enabled her to get her free, but she got a little help being shoved into another time zone. Wilson can't find it. Lisa Miller looked like she got mugged on that one, but last touch by the Lady Panthers. It'll be Kentucky Wesleyan ball.
Boy, Alice Shade just missed an easy bucket there.
Timeout out on the floor.
Sarah Turner.
There's the action. And she just sort of shanked that one.
Well, she's tired, boy. I tell you, can just tell. You can see her. She's breathing hard. She's working like as hard as she can on the inside, and just I tell you, that's what happens when you get that tired. And the Kentucky Wesleyan players are just overwhelmed right now with the strength of the bench by IPFW.
Simpson hasn't gone to his substitutes as liberally as Brzezinski again. I can't remember a whole lot of people coming out for basically the starting five for the Lady Panthers. They've got to be tired as much as both teams have played end-to-end action.
Well, Sarah Turner's been the story of the second half here, and she's got a total of 22 points here for the game. Tina Merrill's got 20, but Sarah Turner, who only had 8 points at the end of the first half, has really come on strong here in the second, has made the difference in this game.
Let me check that score you just saw on your screen. It's 83-72. IPFW maintaining a 11-point lead with 2:56 remaining here in the second half.
And on the other hand of the coin, Stacy Calhoun has been shut down to only 2 points this half, and she had 27 at the end of the first.
Merrill having a little difficulty inbounding, and Newhouser is mauled in the backcourt by two Lady Panthers, Wilson and Watson, combining for the tag team. And she'll go to the line. He says she was a 72% free throw shooter.
Who's that?
Newhouser.
That's correct. Bob, you've got an excellent memory.
Why, thank you, Al. Remind me to give you something for Christmas. Right. Newhouser at the line again. She hit her last two. And I don't think Kentucky Wesleyan's going to be able to close the gap by sending the Lady Dons to the free throw line. They're an excellent free throw shooting team.
Yeah, well, overall they're shooting 75%, which is pretty good.
Newhouser misses the back end of the 1-and-1. Wilson pushing the ball up.
And Newhouser's got 6 points in the ball game.
Calhoun outside. She'll look to make her own action.
Yeah, just great defense. Super defense.
And it was just stripped from her by Sarah Turner. Excellent defense by the sophomore.
But halftime talk by Brzezinski definitely helps. You can tell that. Playing inspired defense, and that's what the name of the game is.
Turner with a push-off. That's what they'll call. Yeah, you saw that free arm going, pushing Green in the back.
Still isn't over, Bob. 84-72. IPFW only up by 12, and Kentucky Wesleyan's got the ability to come back quickly, especially with the three-point shots.
The replay, and just caught on the end of that as you saw her arm just sort of push out, and yes, that hand was firmly planted in her back. So she's called for the foul. That's her second of the ball game.
Amy Gruen has scored 17 points tonight. She's at the foul line, and she's been a significant factor in this game, but she's been shut down also in the second half. Really has not been that much of a factor. She had 12 points and only 17 right now.
Action still pretty heavy down underneath the basket. Alice Shade hitting the deck. She'll be looking to can the back end of this. And she does. Full court pressure by the Lady Panthers. Inbounded to Newhouser. Oh, and nicely taken away by the Panthers. Watson to Shade. And I tell you what, that's an eight-point ball game. And a foul is called. I tell you, Mike, I've seen a lot of strange things happen in this ball game. This place is.
Well, Newhouser should have. She could have very well sent her a Western Union telegram, I think, before she threw that pass. I think that's what happened.
I don't think she fooled anybody.
Now, it was excellent defensive pressure at the other end of the court by Kentucky Wesleyan, and a result of turnover and a bucket. And they cut it to 8, but Tina Merrill is at the free throw line, and she's shooting 88%, and it's going to be another 2 points for IPFW.
The wrong girl to foul. That's definitely for sure. The junior from Kokomo.
And she's got now 22 points.
It's a 10-point lead. IPFW with 2 minutes and 11 seconds remaining. Calhoun looking to make something happen. She's been completely shut down.
Yeah, they've got Merrill on her, and she's just...
An excellent defensive player. Turner helping out. And this last touch by Tina Merrill.
Yeah, that's a sign of an excellent player. When you can wrap somebody like Stacy Calhoun and play good defense like that and still score 22 points in the ball game, that says a lot about your basketball abilities.
Calhoun inbounds to Wilson. Doesn't have a whole lot of time to play with 10 minutes remaining, and she just threw that ball away into the waiting hands of Lisa Miller.
Lisa Miller's an excellent athlete.
And just a freshman, folks. And IPFW is going to play the waiting game. And that's a foul. Tracy Watson called for the foul. I believe that's her 5th. If I'm not mistaken. That's 5 for her. She's gone.
Well, Lisa Miller's going to go to the line, and she's from Bishop Dwenger High School here in Fort Wayne. And a lot of you remember her.
And making her first appearance for the Lady Panthers, number 20, Candace King, in for the ball game. And Miller, NBN, nothing but nylon. Nice form, nice shot.
10 points for Lisa Miller. She's averaging 15.8. A little bit off her game tonight, but the other players have picked up for her.
88-76. The margin now is 12 with 1:30 remaining. Calhoun looking to force something, and she's fouled. Tina Merrill called for the foul, I believe. They'll shoot 2. That's obviously why Coach Terry Brzezinski didn't want to send him to the free throw line, especially with 1:30 and a 12-point lead. Say, fine, let her shoot that ball, but you're up by 12. She ain't going to do a whole lot of damage, and you'd rather have the possession, take some of the air out of the ball.
There's a good look at the star from Kentucky Wesleyan, Stacy Calhoun, who's been effectively shut down here in the second half, and you can repeat it over and over, but that's definitely been the story.
Calhoun, the junior guard from Grand Rivers. Nice shot of her right there. She'll be looking to can this one, and she does.
She's got 31 points, but that's a little bit deceiving.
You didn't say anything, Mike. I was hoping you'd say something, jinx her again or something, huh? And a foul in the backcourt. They'll send Tina Merrill. A bad move. She's an 88% free throw shooter. Thanks, Mike.
Well, Bob, we're going to be walking back and forth here for a while. I think
it's
minute and a half left, and it's going to be a little contest here.
It's going to be a free throw shooting contest, and you're down by 10. And if you keep sending Tina Merrill to the line, you're going to end up on the short end of the stick.
10-point lead for IPFW, and
minute 27.
Anything's possible, but it's a panic situation now for Kentucky Wesleyan, let's face it.
Barring a bench-clearing brawl,
Oh, boy.
Wilson pushing it up. Almost throws away Calhoun. Nice job of catching the ball. Calhoun drives.
Well, she's going to try to do what she can to take care of business, and there's a minute 13 left now.
And it's
They're down by 8.
lead.
That's right. There's still plenty of time.
Playing a little keep away from Wesleyan Miller. She's fouled by Alice Shade.
I thought we were going to get a walking call, but not.
It looked like we were going to get it. The back referee looking to come up and make the call, but the man closest to the action already called a foul, saving IPFW.
Lisa Miller was a little too unselfish in that play. She was right under the basket. As you can see,
the action.
I don't know why she passed it to Sarah Turner, to tell you the truth, but she did, and Sarah Turner drew the foul, but Lisa Miller was right there with nobody on her.
I don't think you get points here for a well-executed elbow smash, but Sarah Turner at the line. Really needs to make this one. And she doesn't. Starting to let the door kind of open for the Lady Panthers to climb back into this one. Wilson.
Going to have a jump ball.
Jump ball.
Tough call. The alternating possession goes to Kentucky Wesleyan, so they'll have another chance.
And they'll take it out on the side with just under a minute remaining, 54 seconds. And Wesleyan trying
watch this inbounds play, Bob. I think they're going to have the quick pass and the quick pass back there to
Candace King. That's not her shot, but almost got it to go. And again, another jump ball, alternating possession, this time in favor of IPFW.
Well, I thought for sure they'd run a play there for Stacy Calhoun, but
that's what you'd think, but number 20, Candace King, the substitute, deciding to take the three-point play. I don't think Simpson was real happy with that.
She's only a freshman, and
not the person you want to handle.
Just not sure about that.
And Scott receiving.
She missed an easy layup. Nice block, too, also by Stacy Calhoun. She's doing everything.
Oh, my goodness.
And we're going to stop the clock, Bob, and that's, boy, I tell you what, Brzezinski's got to be very unhappy with that.
I don't think she's a real happy camper right now. There's the action. Miller called for over the back. Action starting to produce more than a bit of anxiety for Coach Brzezinski and her assistant coach, Bill Carter.
Alice Shea got poked in the eye there. She's going to be going to the line to try to cut this lead to 6 points. There's still plenty of time, 42 seconds left.
42 seconds left and an 8-point lead. I wish I could say that this game was over, but with that three-point play in Calhoun, more than willing to find that range and bring back the Lady Panthers.
Well, IPFW called timeout, Bob, and not a bad move, actually. With 42 seconds left, 88-80. They're up by 8 points, and they just got to get things grouped together and see what they're going to do to try to nail the coffin shut, as they say, or as you say, that is.
I remember saying that, but trying to ice the shooter a little bit, trying to put a little ice water into her veins. Alice Shade, we don't have any statistics on what she shoots, but
Alice has got 14 points tonight, and she's been a real good factor.
There's a fast break. We're seeing it one more time. Nice block by 22 Calhoun. Calhoun isn't all that big. She's only 5'8". She's a guard, and she just swatted Lisa Miller just out of the paint.
But I was sure hustle on Kentucky Wesleyan's part, and really a little bit of a mental lapse on IPFW's part.
Calhoun's a gutty player. She may have been shut down, but she still has contributed to the defensive spectrum of Kentucky Wesleyan. There's the fine-looking woman, Alice Shade, still able to see, hopefully. 5'10" sophomore from Henderson in Kentucky, if you're more than a bit curious.
I think our cameraman likes Alice also.
Well, he seems to get the nice close-ups on that. I'm kind of curious to that, but that's not for me to judge. I just work up here in the booth,
and she makes the first one, and that gives her 15 points. And well, I tell you, Bob, 42 seconds left with a 7-point lead.
7-point lead. It's more than a bit of precariousness.
You can't rest that easy.
Maybe an emotional letdown for IPFW, thinking they had this game won, but Kentucky Wesleyan had other plans.
Now it's 6 points, 42 seconds left with a
Full-court
3-point shot.
put on by Kentucky Wesleyan. And Tina Merrill almost tackled by Alice Shade, the middle line, power forward for the Lady Panthers. They'll go back to the line. IPFW doing a nice job to get the ball to Tina Merrill, who's the leading free throw shooter for the Lady Dons. She missed the last attempt. But you can't keep putting this girl to the line and thinking you're going to get away with something. 39 seconds remaining in the second half. It's a 6-point lead. 2 3-point plays, and they're right back in it, Mike.
Well, if they get away with it this time, they're definitely going to think it's worth it, Bob.
There's a stoppage in the
Now, by the
action
way,
right
Alice
now.
Shade just
fouled
out, and we forgot to mention that. We're sorry about that, but Alice Shade played an excellent game tonight, boy. She worked as hard as she could work and had 15 points, and all of them hard-earned, and had also 10 rebounds on the night.
Stacey Oakley is the substitute for the fouled-out Alice Shade. Tina Merrill at the line.
Yeah.
Makes a first shot.
Now, Tina's got 24 now.
There's Coach Tara Rosinski breathing a little easier, maybe. Probably not.
There's a good look at Merrill. Star for IPFW.
And the second. And it's an 8-point lead once again. Wilson pushing it back up. IPFW a little slow getting back on defense. Newhouser
They're going to have to look for the three. She's going to have to shoot that.
But Merrill's right
Just
all
super
over.
defense by Merrill. Now
Looking
she
to clear
shoots.
for her. And that's way off the mark. Robin Scott with a big rebound.
Just great defense, IPFW.
And they're taking their time, bringing it up. Newhouser. And the foul. Tracy Wilson called for the foul on Newhouser.
That looked like a clean steal, Bob. But the official from the other side of the court called that foul. Had absolutely no line on the call at all, and the other official let it go, the closest one to it. But nevertheless, a good break for IPFW, 90-82, and
13 seconds left. I think
it's going to take nothing short of a miracle for Kentucky Wesleyan to pull this off. But anything can happen, but it won't.
This is a strange place, but I don't think it's that strange. So,
especially not after that free throw.
Unless that backboard breaks by a gorilla slam dunk by Sarah Turner, stranger things have happened. But you're right, it probably won't. There's Amy Newhouser from Grable, and she'll can both of them.
And Amy Newhouser
with 13 seconds to left. It's all over. Just about. Wilson brings it up. Calhoun looking for free herself for the three-point range.
Hits the top of the back.
Hits the top of the backboard. IPFW ball with 3 seconds left.
Boy, tremendous defense there by Merrill.
And that's what really keyed this victory for IPFW. They're down by 6, and that possession at the end of the floor.
Now it's touched, and the clock's going to go off just one tick, and it'll go back to Kentucky Wesleyan.
But
it's over.
It's over.
2 seconds left, a 10-point lead. It's over.
It's over. Okay. I think 2-1, and Wilson from about half court.
Well, that's unselfish. She didn't even try to put up with a point total.
Elects not to shoot as IPFW with an impressive come-from-behind win as IPFW puts it all together, beating Kentucky Wesleyan Lady Panthers 92-82. And defense and smart shooting and the fast break offense really did it to the Panthers, didn't they?
That's right, Bob, and credit the depth and the strength of the bench on IPFW's part, and game effort by Kentucky Wesleyan, but the strength of the bench and the athletes of IPFW just ran them to death. And Tina Merrill led the charge with 24 points, and Stacey Calhoun led the charge for Kentucky Wesleyan with 33 points, but 27 of them came in the first half. And Bob, Tina Merrill and Robin Scott both did an outstanding job of stopping her absolutely cold.
Sarah Turner stopping the inside play, coming up with a couple of key defensive plays. To be honest, I think Simpson just didn't have the horses to go when he needed, as IPFW made their late charge in the second half. Just didn't have the horses to keep up with the hard-charging Lady Dons.
That's right.
Rosinski has to be happy with
this
right. performance.
In IPFW, you look down their bench, they've got 12 players that played tonight. 12 of them played significant minutes, and 6 players for Kentucky Wesleyan played significant minutes. When you got 12 against 6, which essentially that's what it is, 12 against 6, because the athletes are basically the same, you got to almost give Kentucky Wesleyan credit for keeping in the ball game with only 6 players against 12, actually.
As the fans are literally swarming over the broadcast booth here at Channel 23, final score for the women's game as the men are starting to warm up here on the floor at the Athletic Center. It was 82-73. IPFW women coming away with the victory. Mike, any closing words on this game as we start to get ready for
No,
the
I'm
men's
just saying I'm
contest?
looking forward to that the next ball game. That we had a good first game here with the women, and by gosh, we're going to come back with the next ball game for you. We'll be back on the air here at 7:30. Well, a little bit before 7:30 with a little pregame
Somewhere around 7:30,
activity.
we can assure
And
you.
by gosh, come on back because Kentucky Wesleyan is tough. IPFW is tough. 11-1, as a matter of fact, with their first loss just last Thursday, and we'll be here for the exciting action. So let's watch your team in action.
Well, we got a taped interview with Coach Piazza that we're going to roll for you in just a second as we're looking out on this IPFW athletic floor.
Welcome to this edition of Coach's Corner. I'm Dan Gebhardt, the Assistant Athletic Director here at IPFW, and with us today is the very successful men's basketball coach from IPFW, Andy Piazza. Andy, welcome to the program. Why don't you start out by telling us a little bit about your team, some of the goals you set early, and obviously, first of all, I should congratulate you. You're 11-0 at this point, off to a tremendous start. Talk to us a little bit about your team.
Well, early in the year, we talked to the media about the fact that our goal this year, team-wise, is to get in the NCAA tournament. To accomplish that goal, number one, you either have to win our conference, which has an automatic bid, or at least get 21, 22, 23 wins and be in the top 2 or 3 in our conference, because our conference is so well thought of on the national level. Last year, 3 teams were able to get in the national tournament from our conference, but there's only 32 teams in Division II that get in. So we felt this year that we had to get at least win the conference or come in second and win 22 or 23 games because of the fact that in our region they've added 4 more schools to our region, the 4 from Michigan, the Lower Peninsula of Michigan, which makes it even tougher to get in this year. But with an 11-0 start, obviously you can't ask for a better start than that. But more importantly, the 2-0 conference start on the road. We were at Ashland on Thursday and at Northern Kentucky on Saturday. And those are probably 2 of the top 4 as far as the toughest places to play in our conference. Obviously, Kentucky Wesleyan being another one, and Lewis University in Chicago being another one. But after the way our kids played Thursday, we were at...
Make sure you tune into that game. That should be an excellent game as IPFW is blown out tonight, but they should come back with a lot of fire in their eyes to avenge that loss against Kentucky Wesleyan. For Bob Kramer, I'm Mike Neely. So long until then.
Night, everybody.